What am I doing on my phone's desktop? Well, I've seen a number of people who have been asking about a guide on how to move maps around on the new mobile Terraria 1.3. And so I thought I'd create a little guide here on YouTube just to run people through how that is done. It's actually quite easy once you know where to look. The real trick is just really finding the directory for your Worlds folder in your Terraria data. And so this is a Galaxy S7. This is your typical Android-based phone. It's not too different from an Apple phone in terms of how this is done. The steps are going to vary just a little bit, but let's get started. You're going to want to go to your Files directory. And here on my Samsung device, it's under here on My Files. And what I've done is I've already downloaded a map, and I'll get to that later. You can click on the Downloads button here, or if you want to venture into your internal storage, there should be a download directory also shown here. And I've downloaded a map by Khaois or Chaos. I don't know how that name is pronounced, and again, I'll get to that later, but he's a YouTuber who also makes maps and shares those maps. He's very good, and he's growing quickly in popularity, and so he has made a mobile 1.3 compatible map called Area 51. I'm going to select it here, and what you're going to want to do is once it's downloaded, you need to move it into your Terraria Worlds folder to play. And so, at least on my phone, the option is this vertical 3 dots here on the top right, and so I'm going to click that, and then I'm simply going to hit the move button to move that file where it needs to go. And this is the only kind of tricky part, is knowing where to look in your internal storage. So I click the internal storage, and again, this is an Android phone. I'm going to go down, and I'll show you where. Just scroll down. It should be under the Android directory here. And once you're in the Android directory, go under Data, and then you're simply looking for the Terraria directory shown here. And before I click on it, I'm going to go ahead and put on the screen the root directories if you're on an Apple product or if you're on an Amazon product. Those are the root directories you need to find in your file structure. And once you're in that root directory, the directory structure should look the same. So let's see what it looks like on an Android device. All right, here's the Terraria chief folder, I guess, the primary folder of Terraria on my phone. I don't want to get too technical. I don't really know the exact technical term for it anyway. It's the main folder for Terraria. And you can see there are these subfolders for things like files, worlds, cache, players, etc. I'll just go ahead and show you players. And those are my player characters. We're not really going to fiddle with that, but I haven't tried it, but I think moving player files around is pretty similar to how you move around the maps. So let's go back out to Worlds. It's the Worlds folder you're going to want to go to. And so I've decided to move the Area 51 map from my Downloads directory to my Worlds directory. And that should do it. So let's do Done. And now Area 51 is with my other worlds. You see that some of these worlds, in fact, the other 2 worlds, have duplicates. There's the main .wld file and then a wld.bak file. As far as I know, that's just a backup. And if I start playing Area 51, the game should generate a backup of Area 51 as well. So the fact that it's not downloaded shouldn't be a concern. Anyway, so that's all you have to do in terms of moving the file around once it's downloaded. Let's load up Terraria and see if it works. Alright, we're loading up Terraria now, and I haven't done anything since I cut the video off for this brief transition. So I haven't fiddled around with anything. I've never loaded this up with Area 51 before. Let's see if it actually works. I'm going to go to single player, NRLP, let's just use him. And Area 51 shows up. So let's try it. I've never played this before. Oh, this is cool. Again, I've never seen this before. And you can see this guy has a reputation for being an expert map maker, and I'm already a believer. I've never really watched his videos other than a few moments, and he seemed to know what he was doing. He seemed very meticulous. And man, I think it actually looks better being in the game right now and running around. This is some good stuff. And it's actually a little demanding on my phone. As I've complained in some other videos, my phone is kind of a middle-of-the-road phone. It's a Samsung S7, which most of the time is an excellent phone, but it lags a little bit in this game in the more demanding sections. And so I don't know if this is some temporary lag, but this isn't really a video about playing this Area 51 map. I really just wanted to demonstrate the fact that it does work. So let's go ahead and get out. So that's all you have to do to download a map. Pretty basic, right? Once you know the file structure, that's how you do it. But I do want to go over one or two other things. First, I think it should still be on here. What I had tried out of curiosity, I have the latest PC version of Terraria, and I was curious, but not optimistic, whether or not a map I created in PC Terraria could translate to mobile 1.3. And so what I did was I transferred a map from my desktop over to my mobile phone, and I think it may be this test map. I'm not sure. Let's see. And what happened when I loaded it was it loaded but then got stuck on the loading screen. And I had mentioned earlier where I found that map. It's a website called CurseForge, curseforge.com. It's spelled exactly as you think. I'll include a link to this particular page in the video description below. And I'm sorry to say that with mobile 1.3 only having just come out, there don't appear to be too many compatible maps at the moment. I went to the All Adventures and then did sort by date created. And it seems that really the only thing available at the moment is the map you saw a little bit of, this Area 51 map, created again by Khaois. And that's not his YouTube name, it's just the second part if you go to his YouTube channel. And you know, what the hell, I'll include a link to his YouTube channel in the video description if you want to watch his videos. It's a fairly new channel, I think, or at least he became more active once again pretty recently. But as I said earlier, he's pretty popular for those who are interested in building techniques and that sort of thing. He's certainly well ahead of me in terms of that skill set. And so if you're interested in map creation, he's the guy to watch. He seems to know pretty much as anyone else knows when it comes to map creation. So again, Khaois is your guy. But this website, again, I have high hopes that in the future there will be more maps to download here. And of course, you don't have to go to this website. There may be some downloadable maps in the official forums by enthusiasts who have begun posting. That's just something you're going to have to look for. And in fact, if you're still watching at this point, and if you know maybe some good places to find adventure maps, feel free to post about it in the comments, because we're all learning at this point. When I'm making this video, it's the last day of August, and so mobile 1.3 is pretty new as of the time I'm producing this. So again, feel free to include any good download links you know about for adventure maps or any other kind of map, but certainly it doesn't have to be any kind of crazy adventure map. If you're interested in just playing with buddies, if you've made a map and your friend wants to play the same map that you've been playing on just for the heck of it, this is something that you can do where you just send that WLD file over email or whatever to your friend, and then he can move it around in his system. It should be compatible between all devices. So if you have an Apple phone, he has an Android-based phone. I don't see why it wouldn't work if you know where to put the file correctly. So you have a few options here. Anyway, I think that's a fair summary of how you share maps and download maps and quote-unquote install them. There's really not much to it other than knowing the directories. So there you have it. So if you're interested in sharing maps, downloading them, have at it. Good luck, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.